What's up YouTube, Singularity here, and in today's video we are going to go through how to do the new Easter egg on the Firebase Z, which is the new map that has been introduced into the Call of Duty Zombies series on Cold War, and we're just going to run through how to complete that, and we will be doing it on solo. So for our loadout for this, we're going to be rocking the Howard 77 shotgun because that is still a bit of a beast. And our field upgrade to go with that is going to be the Aether Shroud, just in case we get into any sort of sticky situations. We do have that upgraded to level 3, and we will be able to jump forward and get ourselves out of any tight spots we might find ourselves in. So like any Easter egg, the first step is going to be to turn on the power, and if you don't want to wait to get enough points to open the gates to get through to this area up top, you can do that little jump that I've done there. It is a little tricky and it might take you a few tries to get it, but you could do that, enter the teleporter and get into the second area of this Firebase Z. And for the Easter egg later on, we are going to need the Ray K wonder weapon, and one way to get that is through trials. So because we need points to open the gates, we didn't have enough to access the first bit of turning the power on. So we use this time to do some trials, level that up and get the points needed to get to the next area to get on the power. So we have enough points now. We've already opened that first gate there, which cost us 1,000. So we're going to go across here over to the first reactor. That's going to cost us 1,500. And it's going to cost us 500 to turn the reactor on. So that's 3,000 you needed to get into this area and start this first step. Now there's going to be 3 of those machines that you have to protect. Only 2 of them will be activated. They do change every time you start up a new game of this, so it could be any 2 of those 3. And zombies are going to attack it, and what you're going to need to do is kill zombies in front of those machines to charge them up. As you can see, you've got the purple bar, which is your charge bar on the left there. Every time you kill a zombie next to it, it's kind of going to suck their essence into the machine and charge it up. Once that is full, the reactor is going to be activated and you can move on to the next one. And you can see on the map there we do have 3 of those, so it's just going to be repeating the same step 3 times. You're going to have 3 machines, 2 of them you're going to have to protect. Kill zombies next to them. So we should have enough points to just keep running these. And there's the first one on this one. The second one is also down here. And the third one is just up top there. So after doing that second one, we're going to run over to the third one here. And I'm just going to show you the route I took from that little helipad area. And here is the third one here again. 500 points to turn it on. We're going to have 1 machine there, another one there, and the other one is just around this corner. And exactly the same principle. 2 of them are going to need protecting, and just kill zombies next to them. Charge that up, and then it will turn power on for that area. And then once all 3 are on, that will be power activated for the entire map. So once all 3 of those are done, we're just going to take the teleporter back to the village, and you can see on the left hand side there it says return to Ravenov, and that is the guy that is just in here next to the pack-a-punch machine. And for these next couple of steps it's just going to be a bit of running backwards and forwards. He's going to go through a dialogue, going to have to go through the teleporter again and speak to someone called Peck, which I will show you now. So once back through the teleporter, just head to the first area that we went for, the reactor, and Peck is just going to be in this corner, and speak to him again. And then once you've spoken to him again, like I said, it's a bit of backwards and forwards running. We're going to return back to Ravenov. So we're back through the teleporter and back towards Ravenov, but until the previous dialogue is finished we're not going to be able to speak to him to progress again. As you can see there is plenty of intel to cover. Take whatever is not nailed down. That is just his dialogue that he says all the time when not on any sort of steps. So once that initial dialogue's finished, we can talk to him again, and he's going to tell us the next step to progress this. So once he's finished his dialogue, he will give you his ID badge. That's going to be used to find 3 compounds that are in 3 containers, and the first is just across from where Ravenov is. We're going to take the high route just so we don't have to spend points to open the gates down below. And as you can see, there's the first container there, and all 3 are going to look like this. So the second one is back through the portal and going to be in the engineering quarters, and again another container with another compound. And the third and final one is just off the military command room area and in the colonel's office, and again exactly the same container, same compound inside. And once we have all 3, we're going to put them in the centrifuge over in the medics area. So we're just going to run from the central helipad again straight down, and the centrifuge is just going to be on the left in this field hospital tent here. Put them in, it will start to spin in the centrifuge, and at this point you are going to get some of those hounds spawning, and once you've killed those you're going to be able to pick those back up. So you can see there we've killed all of those hellhounds, and we can now go back inside, get the mixer and pick up the aerosol delivery system. So once we have that, we're going to run over to this little air conditioning system which is next to the big OPC orb, and that's going to put that truth serum into Peck's office and make him talk and tell you exactly what you need to know. Now while he does this, you do have a minute or so of downtime, and you can use that time to do trials. What I'm going to do is use it to do steps towards the Reiki, just in case we don't get that weapon out of the legendary trial. So whilst we do that, we are also going to pick up the shovel, which is needed for one of the Easter egg steps later on, and that is just past where Peck is, and in this little hut you can see the shovel there. And we're just going to fast forward through these Reiki steps because we do get it from our reward, and I'm going to make another video on how to get that later on. So once Peck has finished his dialogue, you just need to go over, talk to him again. That's going to start another dialogue chain and let us progress on to the next step. So at the end of his dialogue, he tells you to head over to the data center to look for something that might be useful, and you're looking for this memory transference station. And what you're going to do here is look for 3 certain mimics that are Sokolov, Brahms and Zabine, and they are now mimics, and they only spawn in 3 certain areas. You do get mimics that spawn randomly through the map, but these ones in particular will always spawn in these 3 locations. So this is the first location, which is by the motor pool, and what you're going to want to do is get his health low and then trap him inside the trap. So once you throw that trap down using your tactical button, you're going to want to double tap square like you would with a C4, and that is going to suck it in, but he needs to be low health for it to work. So as you can see there, it's in target captured, and once these have been captured you have 3 minutes to return it back to that machine before it expires and breaks free. So we're back at the machine there, and you need to deposit instead of picking up another trap. Make sure you do that. You just need to aim towards the right of where those traps are, and you can see there when the dialogue starts, it is someone called Brahms talking, replaying that memory, so we know we have the correct one. And now we're going to head over to where our second one is going to be. And something to note for this is you will only get 1 of those spawning each round, so we will not be able to get our next one until we are in round 8. So this is a great time to use to either do the steps to get the Reiki, or to do steps to do the trials to get the Reiki. So that's what we're going to do. We need to kill all these zombies anyway to get the next rounds to get that mimic, so we might as well do some trials whilst we do it. So here we are into the next round, round 8, and how you can tell where the mimic is going to spawn is you will have the either equipment or the kill streaks on the ground. You can see we have one spawned in there, so we know that the mimic's going to be in this area somewhere, and he could be anywhere around this area, including this tunnel. So we're just doing a little bit of cleanup because we know we need to progress the round to get the third one, so we might as well kill some zombies to make it easier for us to capture that second mimic. The less that are chasing us and hitting us, the easier it's going to be to capture. So what I was doing was just getting your zombies down to, I mean, you could get it right down to one zombie before you actually start to capture the mimic. Just as long as you don't start the next round, you will be good. So here we are going into the tunnel. We knew the mimic was going to spawn there because he didn't spawn in the command room. So again, we're just going to shoot him to get his health down. He needs to be low health for us to be able to trap him. So we're going to throw it down, double tap square, make sure his health's low enough. And there we go, successfully captured. Again, we're going to run up to the machine, deposit it, and pick up the next one. So once we have our third mimic, we're not that far off completing the Easter egg. So what we're going to do is complete this trials to try and get that rare weapon, and also just progress a few rounds so we can get some points, get some salvage, so we're able to upgrade our shotgun and upgrade that rare ready for the boss fight. So we've got legendary there, go to claim it, and there you can see we get that rare wonder weapon. So what we're going to do now is just progress a few rounds, get some points, and do some upgrades on our guns and perks. So our final mimic is going to be in this area back through the portal in the village. It's going to be somewhere within this building, and we are towards the end of round 14. I have got enough points, I have pack-a-punched my Reiki, and I've got enough points there to pack-a-punch it again for the second time. But as you can see, there was no items or anything upstairs. As soon as I've ended that round, you can see things have spawned in, and that's just to give you an idea of how quickly that these spawn in when the round finishes. So if you're in one location and you don't have those items on the ground, you know it's not going to be there. So if you're someone that's interested in speedrunning, it'll give you an idea. You don't have to hang around in that place. You can get out of there, go to the next place as quickly as possible. So there we are, we have our final one, and we're going to head over, deposit that into the machine. So we will deposit it there, and as you can see, the memory is that of Sokolov, which was one of the 3 we needed, and our third and final one. Now it's going to go through the dialogue, and once that finishes, the machine is going to spit out a floppy disk for us. So we just need to wait until that dialogue's finished, pick up that floppy disk, and move on to the next step. So as you can see there, it's finished the dialogue, it has spat out that floppy disk for us, and now we just need to run over to the planning offices to insert that into the machine. So it's that machine right there, just on the top floor of the planning offices, just outside to where this big sphere is. And once we've put that in, it is going to go through another lot of dialogue, and once that's finished, it's going to open the doors to that sphere, which is the OPA system. And once they open, all you have to do is run inside. There's nothing you need to interact with, just run in, run back out, and it's going to go through another lot of dialogue. So once that dialogue is finished, it's going to tell you that Peck may still prove useful. You just want to go back to him and interact, talk to him again, and you're going to get some more dialogue. So once that dialogue is finished, you're going to get a code for this cabinet, which is right next to where Peck is. Just interact with it, it's going to spit out an Aethermeter, which you pick up and will use for the next step of the Easter egg. So in this step there is 3 Ethereum crystals we need to find. One of them is right outside there, and it looks like that. Now the thing is, it's going to disappear and mimic itself a lot of times, and you just want to search through all of these. They all spawn in this area, and the one you're looking for is the one that is clear. It is a full Ethereum crystal with no bits floating around inside, just white smoke. As you can see, all the ones I am looking at here have the crystal and black smoke floating around in there with them. Do not pick that up, or you will have to finish the round, start the step all over again. So you just going to keep searching. They are downstairs, they are upstairs, they are outside, and they are inside. And they always spawn in the same locations, so once you know where they are, you can just find your own route, run around. And as you can see there, that one was perfectly clear, no black bits floating inside, and that is the first Ethereum crystal that we need. So we're going to head straight to the second one, and for this is why we need the Reiki, and we need to activate its secondary fire by pressing up on the D-pad. It's going to be in this corner. As soon as you press dig, shoot it, and that will prevent it from teleporting. If it does teleport, it will just go into one of these nearby buildings, which you will be able to spot from outside. Do not enter that building, because if you get too close trying to pick it up, it will just teleport to another location, and it will just keep teleporting. What you have to do is shoot it with that secondary fire from the Reiki. That will make sure it stays in place and doesn't teleport, and that will allow you to run over and pick it up. So our third and final Ethereum crystal is outside in this jungle defense area. You will hear that beep, you will get the prompt to dig, and once you do, you will get this little perimeter spawn around you. Now you have to keep inside here. If you go outside, you will start to take damage. So just stay inside. You will get one mangler spawning at the beginning, followed by a lot of hellhounds, and then you're going to get another mangler, a few more hellhounds, and then that will be the end of this. I did keep one zombie alive, just so I didn't end the round and get a horde of zombies chasing me, and I recommend trying to do that if you can. It is hard keeping him alive with all this fire. He does walk through it. As you can see there, he's died to the fire. So we're just going to keep killing these hellhounds, wait for that second mangler to spawn in, because then we know it's almost finished. It's not a difficult step. There's the second mangler there. Take him down, no problem. We're going to have a few more hellhounds, and once this step is finished, that perimeter will go down and allow us to pick up that Ethereum crystal. As you can see there, that is now finished, and we have that last one. So now we have all three of those. What we're going to want to do is deposit them into the ether reactors, which were the machines we activated right at the start to turn the power on. And the first one is just here. Just interact with it to insert the crystal, and we're going to run over to the other two. So here's our second one in the data center. Again, interact with it, and you can do these in any order. This is just the route that I chose. And the third and final one down here in mission control. Again, just interact with it, and it is going to start another lot of dialogue. And once that dialogue is finished, it'll tell you to head over to the OPC again, and all you need to do is just run inside it. You don't need to interact, just run inside it again. And again, we're going to get some more dialogue. And once that dialogue is finished, we're going to run over to Peck and speak to him again. And once again, we're going to get some more dialogue. And once that dialogue is finished, it's going to tell you we have to align a satellite, which is just on this machine here. And as you can see, we have a map. We have a lot of gold/yellow stars. What we're going to do is use our D-pad. You have to use that to move this little white dot you can see moving around on the screen. And basically we have to find that yellow star, which is a question mark for a flag. And as you can see, once we've done that, we interact with it. And an important thing to note here is, once you have aligned that satellite, you are going to the boss fight. There is no turning back. So before you do that, make sure you have absolutely everything you need. All your weapons pack are punched, all the perks you need, all the points and salvage, etc. Because there is no going back. So the final step is to just interact with the OPC. And if you do not interact with it, after about 30 seconds or so, it will teleport you into the boss fight anyway. And even though we haven't ended the round, we get more zombies spawn in. However, killing these zombies, you are not going to get any points for it. So after that cutscene, we will be transported back to the village, which is where the boss fight takes place. This guy is called Order, and he does 3 lots of attacks. The first is a slam attack there, and if you get hit by that, it will one hit you and down you. His second attack is going to be those balls of fire. You want to make sure you don't get hit by those because they do quite a bit of damage. All you need to do is just shoot them out of the sky. There will be 2 each time he does that attack. And his third attack is just going to be spawning some hellhounds. So these attacks are pretty simple to avoid. Just make sure you keep your distance away from that slam and you should be okay. Spend as much downtime as possible attacking him. When you get a horde of zombies spawning, you're going to want to be concentrating on those and not the boss. So we can see we're getting a horde of zombies spawning in now. So what you're going to want to do is concentrate on these and not the boss, because you can get overwhelmed in a short area. So just pick a route to run, trying to avoid these zombies and take them out as quickly as possible. You're going to want to concentrate on the mimics because they do the most damage. The normal zombies are pretty much nothing when you have this Rake packed to level 2. You're going to be pretty much one-hitting those. And as you can see, the boss there, the middle of his face glows red. You do get a prompt saying hit him now, he is most vulnerable, and you're going to do more damage on the boss. So you want to spend that time attacking him. And again, make sure you're controlling these crowds of zombies as much as possible. So we're just going to be running the same steps, taking care of the horde of zombies. Once they are dealt with, attacking the boss. We use our Ether Shroud here to get a little bit of extra time on the boss. We notice we do have a napalm strike, and this is pretty good to do quite a bit of damage on the boss himself. If you don't want to use it for that, you can use it on the horde of zombies to try and take all of those out. Either way is good. So as you can see, he only has a slither of health left now. And don't forget, you can use the machines around there if you need to. You can pack a punch your weapon if you haven't done so. You can get your armor. So again, run the same routes, take care of the zombies, jump down, shoot the boss. And we should be able to get him on this little bit here. And there we go. Boss is defeated and Easter egg is complete. Now we are going to get a cutscene, but I'm going to cut that out and leave that to you to see for yourself. And completing that Easter egg awards us with a Dark Ops Challenge calling card, which I think looks pretty sick. So that is it for the video. If you found it helpful and it helped you get that challenge done, leave a like, drop a comment with any hints or tips you might need along the way. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, turn on them notifications, and I will see you in the next one.